If you also want to start a podcast like Milk and Lettuce, maybe make one even more refined than I do, I highly recommend going to anchor.fm. It's free. You do not need to pay them anything. You can have them publish it. They do have it on Apple, Google, Spotify, and others. You can just hit auto distribute and let them take care of the rest. That's what I did. That way I don't have to worry about any of all that. Yeah, words can be hard. But yeah, it's totally free. You can make money. There's no minimum listenership required. There's many different tools all right there. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And please send me your podcasts. I would love to listen to them. Thank you so much. Thank you to you, the listener, and to Anchor FM for being the new home to Milk and Lettuce. So it's going to be a short one, but I found out what happened to the original Milk and Lettuce podcast. Basically, they flagged it as spam when I started Red Zone. Yeah. So I'm not entirely happy about that. Because as I stated before, they did not inform me of anything. They just did it. So, yeah, I was not told anything. I messaged their customer service, which is absolute horseshit, because you message them and you have to wait and wait. And it kept going to someone in Italy who never responded. Eventually someone else did. That's how I got the account back. I just took a med that started dissolving in my mouth. That was gross. But yeah, I will be re-uploading all of my old episodes because, one, they're my episodes. If they try to come after me, no, sweetheart, you took my shit down for no reason. It's mine. Go fuck yourself. But yeah. And two, I'm posting here now. So I will just bring all of my old episodes over. I'm debating on if I'm gonna upload to the one that I had. There was one I had about my relationship with a narcissist. On one hand, I've said this before, and maybe in one of my re-uploads, but I took it down because I kind of came across really angry. But at the same time, I was just reading a list of like 53 or 54 different things to know about a narcissist. So I do feel like that list was helpful, but at the same time, I feel like I might have been a little angry. So I don't know. But I digress. Once again, will be re-uploading all of my old episodes. Fuck it, I'm gonna re-upload that one. It was episode 6. Episode 7 was not around very long at all. I think it was up for like a day. I'm not sure. But yep, keep an eye out for all of my re-uploads. And I will see you on the flip side. I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Anyway. Hello, I'm Isaac, and you're listening to Milk and Lettuce, the only podcast probably that has absolutely zero consistency. I totally said I was going to start doing it on the schedule, and I fucked that up immediately. I also actually erased episode 6. I took it down because, I don't know, I felt like it might have come across a little aggressive. So that's why I took it down. I just didn't want to sound like that. I still stand by what I said, but yeah, it was just kind of yeah. Anyway, yes, so something happened earlier tonight, and I kind of want to talk about it. So I don't know if a lot of people still do this, like calling people posers, you know? It's a load of shit. One time I watched a video, and this girl, she identified as, a goth, which is fine. You can call yourself whatever the fuck you want. You do not need to prove yourself. You do not need to validate yourself. It's not like you're classifying as a race that you are not. It's not like you're classifying as a religion you don't follow. It's not hurting anybody. You can identify your style as whatever the hell you fucking want. Like, I don't know, why would you need to prove that you're a quote goth? And she posted this video in which she said, I still call myself goth just because I wear bright colors sometimes, or white or pastels. It doesn't mean I'm not still a goth at heart. And yeah, it's a style. It's not, to some people, yeah, it's a lifestyle. But it's not hurting anybody to call yourself a goth or punk or emo. I know a punk girl, she fucking will sometimes wear super bright clothing too, and she looks fucking good in it. Why can't she wear that shit? And a lot of people be like, no, you're actually emo, or no, you're actually goth. And no, it's if somebody calls themselves a certain thing, that doesn't mean you get to correct them. But what happened earlier in this stream I was watching was somebody said, you are not allowed to call yourself goth. Only other people can. And so I thought about it, because one day in middle school, I'd started dyeing my hair black for a while. About a year or two by that point. And everyone fucking loved it at my old school. They're like, oh my god, he looks so good. I love it. Because I have dark eyebrows, but blonde hair. So it looked more natural. And it was like a blue black. So everyone loved how it looked. And I got a lot of compliments for it. But then I transferred schools. And I came to school wearing a black polo shirt with blue jeans and gray boots with like black soles. winter boots. Because it's fucking January. I'm gonna wear goddamn winter boots. I've always had wider feet, so even when my family would keep trying to get me to dress girly, I never wanted to dress girly. I couldn't really wear like girl shoes. They were always really tight. And then I discovered Vans wide, so I jumped between girl shoes and guy shoes. But yeah, that was fun. My first day at that new school, some kid came up and was like, "You're a goth," and I'm like, I looked at myself. I'm like, are you shitting me? You call this goth? I'm wearing a fucking polo shirt. He's like, that doesn't matter. It's still black. So I'm like, okay, whatever. You do you, kid. Turned around, kept talking to my friends, and he fucking kicked me. So, of course, being the little shit ass I was, he ran away. I saw him run away. I fucking came around and kicked him back. And he's like, why did you do that? I'm like, why'd you fucking kick me first? I didn't really get in trouble for it. I mean, like, I was scolded. Like, you shouldn't have kicked him. I'm like, he kicked me first. No, he didn't. What the fuck ever? Yeah, that was my school experience. Like, I wore a lot of baggier t-shirts after that. But eventually I did get, trip pants. But that's the thing. To call a kid goth for what they look like, even if it's not goth, as an insult. So, like, I never really called myself goth. I joked that I was a former emo. But I just kind of wore whatever. I still just wear whatever. But that's the thing. They usually will call a kid goth or emo as an insult. And it's like, it's one thing if you call yourself that, but you do not need someone else to call you that. It leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Like, you're not allowed to identify with this style of clothing unless someone else says you can. No. That's not how it works. That's not how any of it works. You can dress however the fuck you want. And if you're like, oh, I wear a lot of goth clothes, I'm goth. Do it. It doesn't fucking hurt anybody. You wear a lot of emo clothes and shit. The fucking wristbands and band tees and whatever. You're like, I'm emo. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, you're emo. But most people aren't going to call you that unless it's more of an insult. And, it's one thing for someone to be like, you're an emo. And you'd be like, yeah, I know. But they still didn't call you that as a term of endearment. They meant to be hurtful. Even if you don't take it as such, that's perfectly acceptable. And you shouldn't take something like that as an insult. Like, they tried to do that in high school to me. They tried to be like, you're an emo. And I'd be like, I'm wearing fucking trip pants. Do you know what an emo is? Like, I'm wearing baggy fucking clothes. I don't look like an emo. Like, it was funny to me. A lot of that shit was just kind of funny to me. Because it's like, they're saying it to hurt me. And I'm just like, what the fuck about my attire makes you think that? But, yeah, that's all of that's my thing. You can wear whatever you want. You can identify as a niche subgroup or whatever as whatever. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you can be yourself. You do not need someone else's validation to be whoever the fuck you want to be. And to imply that you need validation to be yourself is, quite frankly, absolutely disgusting. You do not need anybody's validation except for your own. So yeah, you want to be emo? Be emo. People want to call you emo? Whatever. You want to be emo and have people call you goth? Just laugh. Because only you know who you are. Nobody else has that power over you except you. And do not ever give someone that power. It's not like you're calling yourself a race that you're not, or a religion you don't follow. It's the style you wear. Nobody should gatekeep. And it kind of reminds me of, like, I was talking to someone on TikTok, Metal Grandma. If you don't follow her, you fucking should. She's amazing. But she posted something, and I don't remember offhand what it was, but I commented on it. And she fucking agreed. A lot of people agree. I can't explain it, but for some reason, metal purists are like the worst of any genre of music. You do not have people like, this isn't real pop. But there are people who are like, this isn't real country. But they're not as toxic as the metal purists. Like, no, a lot of Taylor Swift I would not consider country. If I think anything past her first album or something, I would not consider that to be country, personally. But I'm not going to attack people for classifying it as country. It's negative and it's toxic and it's gross. You don't do that. But at the same time, I've had so many experiences. People who are like, oh, you listen to metal? I'd be like, yeah, sometimes I listen to other things too. And they're like, well, you're not metal. It's like, I never called myself that. You just assumed because I sometimes listen to metal. So apparently, if you listen to metal, you're not allowed to listen to anything else, according to metal purists, and I cannot comprehend it. You're allowed to like whatever the fuck you like. You're allowed to play whatever game if it interests you. You don't have to play all the games. Like, you can play fucking Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, but not like any of the other games, or have never played the other games. Like, let's say even that's the only game you play, and you're like, I like Pokemon, and someone's like, oh, when was the last game you played? And you're like, 2004 or whatever, I don't fucking know. They're like, you're a fake Pokemon fan. No, you're not. If you like something, you're allowed to like the thing. Even if you haven't been exposed to the rest of the thing, you're allowed to like the thing. I don't know. I can't logic it. But on that, I'm gonna end it. Best thing I can say is just do you. You be yourself. Nobody gets to tell you what you're allowed to like or not like, or what you're allowed to wear or not wear. Obviously, if it's inappropriate in public, you probably shouldn't wear it in public, but you know, things like that. Do whatever the fuck you want. If you're not hurting anybody, you're not bothering anybody, just be your goddamn beautiful ass motherfucking self. That's all I gotta say for today. So again, thank you for listening. I hope you have a fantastic day, night, evening, whatever the hell time of day it is for you. Keep being amazing and beautiful, and I love you. Have a great one.